or cohabiting without necessarily being what we might consider a family unit.
So, before we talk about the government, which is really the directing part of this question, we need to ask ourselves. I think we need to look at the root causes very well, because if we don't know the root causes, the government cannot drop into everything. Basically, there are no laws. If we should know in Nigeria, there are no laws per se that really stands to fight for people that are being abused. That's why initially I said cultural beliefs and all that still keep people, give people that silent mood and everything. If we're able to identify those things that causes domestic violence, and we're able to see the symptoms after time, you will not get into that thing that will make it happen. Now, kids being violated don't have a choice of parents. You know what I mean? But wives, husbands, they have choice of being violated, either to get into the symptoms. They are there. A man that controls a woman, what to wear, the kind of friends she needs to make, move out with, the places she must go to, she must not make a green hair, she must make a black hair. You know, these are symptoms of a violent man. It will violate your rights, because when we're talking about domestic violence, it's an issue of abusing somebody's fundamental human right. It is fundamental. It is basic. You know, so to me, the Nigerian government has not, in a way, tried so much. But I think they've not done that because data are not there. We are just saying people are being violated. If the government have good data concerning people that are being violated on a daily, on a weekly basis, I think they can work. We have female parliamentarians in Nigeria. You know, we have people like the Abike, Dabiri, and all that. They could press towards this thing. It's not being a member of a committee and just sit down and doing. These women should work out something. You understand what I mean? Look at what happened some time ago. Was it last year? Talking about one rape video that I refused to watch, that went viral on social media and all that. You know, that was an issue I expected our female lawmakers to handle very well. I'm not talking about that domestic violence should be for the female or that, but it largely lies upon their hands. So
simple. From what I've seen here, I think if I'm to relate it with Nigerian women, it's fear, and also the fact that we have this perception that a woman should be heard. She can be seen in certain circumstances, but she shouldn't be heard. So I think that most times why women don't speak up is the fear that even if I do speak, we've had situations like that, even if I do speak, nothing will be done because I'm just one woman speaking out of thousands and millions, if you see what I mean. So it all boils down to two factors. One, the perception that if I speak, nothing will be done. And also another, I think it's all interwoven. I know I need to come across one or to hear of one. There are no measures taken against offenders, if you see what I mean. Like women who have spoken in the past, over time, it's been swept under the carpet. And it's not like any measure is there or any law is there going against, if you do this to a woman or if you do this to a lady, either psychologically, financially, or anywise, that if you do this, that this is what you have to go through or this is what you have to pay for doing that. So I believe it boils down to fear. It boils down to she thinking, if I speak, nothing will be done. And it comes down to there are no certain measures against such action.
I think basically where 2 or 3 members live, there will always be friction. So the question would be, what is the rate of domestic or gender violence as whether where it occurs? And men being the stronger vessel, it's always seen in most instances that men would attempt to, take advantage of their partners. But I think I want to disagree with an assertion that makes it look like domestic violence or violence in the home it's peculiar to Africa. It's not. So it happens everywhere. America, India, Japan, wherever, Asia, just name the countries. The question is, what are the outcomes? I mean, what are the consequences for those actions? And that's where there's a difference between the West and the global North and the global South. So if you do it in probably like places like the UK or the US, the woman has some leeway to make an official report and get some respite from the justice system. In places like Nigeria, to be specific, so I will not use any other country as example, I have not seen laws that protect women from gender. So it would happen. It's a natural phenomenon. It would always happen. We can't rule it out. We would fool ourselves to think everybody's a saint. But my worry is, what are the consequences for those actions in a place like Nigeria? And that's the worry, that people will get away with a lot of things because there are no consequences for their action. People evolve, culture evolves. So over time, if we had had this kind of case, I'm sure if you go check the history of other countries, there must have been some point in time where they had these issues. I'll give an example. There is a report that says when Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of the UK and she shut down the coal mines and whatever, and the men lost their jobs, because they stayed at home and drank more, there was a slight increase in domestic violence.
One area that I've discovered that the violence is increasing. Women don't talk. Most women don't talk if being violated. Some I see is pride. Some are very proud. They will hide being violated. I don't want to lose my marriage. I don't want to lose. For God's sake, men are not scarce. Like what Rosa once said, if you think you're going to lose the man during that courtship, you think you're going to lose the man during the marriage, stay alone. You can go to a seminary and just live your life. You know, men are not scared that you want to endure. You cannot enjoy a relationship and enjoy a marriage, for instance. If you are enjoying the relationship, please quit.
I think it's less about the scarcity of the men and more about the pressure that the women feel to just, marry someone and be with someone. I had an aunt tell me once when I was describing a relationship to her, "Oh, just stay with him. As a man, just stay with him. He's men do things. You will be okay. You marry him, And so I could have been telling her that he was hitting me, and for all she cared, he was a man, so I should hold on to him. But there are definitely certain types of women who get preyed on more easily by men in situations where they get abused. They tend to be people who have poor social support systems. There's educational, socioeconomic factors coming in. So I think that around the world, there are women who do not speak up for various reasons. But in Nigeria in particular, I do think social support is the biggest reason.
First of all, we have almost like a clash of interest between the church and the state over here. Now you must realize that the state controls the laws, the state enforces the laws, not the church. Now, the first question is, what does the law say when you start beating a woman? It's technically domestic violence, it's against the law, and you go to jail for that. No negotiation about it. If it is proven, you are off to jail. It's as simple as that. So the role of the church really, I think over here is muted, in the sense that you can't tell a woman who is supposed to report a crime not to report the crime and to just stay put, thinking that things will get better and all the rest. Because if the woman now ends up being killed, whoever prevailed on the woman not to come out to report will also be found complicit in the manslaughter of that woman. So as a pastor, you definitely, I think for me, it's like you only have one chance. Let's say a member comes to me and says, "Oh, my husband smashed me up." That you have one chance, which is, I hope this is the last time it will ever happen. If it happens again, I tell the woman straight, please just call your 999 and get the police to sort it out. No controversy about it. If this also continues, I would encourage the woman to move out of the zone of abuse, i.e., move out of the house, because I think your life